Join me in pledging allegiance to our flag. Pledge allegiance to the United States of America.
The tellers agree in their tallies that the total number of votes cast is 434, of which the Honorable Mike Johnson of the state of Louisiana has received 218.
Hey, what's up, guys? Carlos Cortez here with another episode of Scriptures and Wall Street. First one for 2025. For those of you that have never heard of me, we've been having Scriptures and Wall Street for, 4 years now. And we are very, very excited that multiple networks are picking us up. And this is basically what we do here is just talk about current markets, current politics. Obviously, we are a conservative-based spirit-led type of show and monologue here, but what I really want to bring to the table is just another perspective that you probably won't hear from your current advisor. Speaking of which, let me say my disclosure here. My basically everything on this podcast is for information and education purposes only. I am not giving financial advice, even though I am a licensed financial advisor. If you would like financial advice, give us a call, 813-448-3446, or visit us at cortezwm.com. Also, if you would like to have a free guide about our process, you can go to americafirstretirementplan.com. If you do book an appointment with us, you could request a book that I've written in 2022, and I'll be glad to give that to you. All you got to do is just give us a call. Hopefully my hat doesn't bother you. I need a haircut, so I figured I wear a hat. I haven't had time. I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of like holiday hungover a little bit lazy. The kids are home from school. I have to cater to them, right? So being a dad and being a business owner and a podcaster and managing portfolios and clients, holy smokes, man. You don't even have time to take a shower sometimes. It's nonstop. But I'm committed to you guys like I've always have been. Wanted just to keep you in a loop of what's really going on, at least what pertains to the financial markets. And we will obviously talk about something that I was convicted on during my quiet time that I really want to bring out at the end of today's episode. But before we get into all of that, I wanted to share something really, really interesting here. So check this out. As you guys know, the QQQs had a crazy year, which is the NASDAQ. And we're going to talk about NASDAQ real quick. So yeah, I mean, as you guys seen, the NASDAQ, the QQQs have been tremendous this year. For those of you that are in big tech, you would have been exposed to this type of gain. Now, if we look, what did the NASDAQ do this year? We simply can just do an internet search real quick, and you'll quickly find that the NASDAQ was up 34.47% year to date. Obviously, with NASDAQ, the Teslas, the NVIDIAs of the world, the Magnificent Seven, you're going to get this pop. And so what is actually happening is technology is getting us out of this recession, right? They won't say it's a recession because it's still Biden's watch. They'll never call it. They don't even know what the definition of a recession is. So my business degree at Southeastern University has gone to the wayside because what I've learned, and I spent $100,000 in college and with student loans because my parents couldn't afford me to go to school. So I took student loans out. What they taught us in school was 2 negative quarters of GDP equals a recession. And as we saw with this administration, that necessarily isn't true. So we don't even know what a woman is, let alone what a recession is. So everything that's spewed out of these people's mouth doesn't really even make sense anymore. As a matter of fact, as a financial advisor for the past daggone 20 years, we have an inverted yield curve and the markets are still going up. Like it is uninverting. Interest rates are going down. Interest rates are getting chopped off, right? 25 basis points here, 50 basis points there. And actually interest rates are possibly going to go up in 2025. Like there's so much weird stuff that's that's happening right now that it doesn't even make any sense. Like it doesn't even make any sense. And so what's scary as a retiree, which you probably are, and you probably hired a big money manager or maybe UBS, Morgan Stanley, Edward Jones, Merrill Lynch, whoever. And what they typically do is they just let your money sit in a portfolio that doesn't have any value-based backing. So, you're investing in the Pfizer, you're investing in gay Disney, you're investing in China, you're investing in ESG, you're investing in LGBT legislation, you are funding your demise, and they're saying, hey, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. The people that invented the vaccine, they don't care about the human race. They care about one thing only, and that is the dollar bill. That is the almighty profit. Now, we all, as God's children, want to be profitable. That is biblical. We want to be stewards. But God would never, ever question how much money you've made. He only questioned what type of character it took to make that money. So it's my responsibility. It is my platform. It is my just my passion to make sure that if I have this broadcast, if I have this platform, that we are going to speak truth. We are going to do everything possible to try to align your money with your values. Wall Street does not care about your values. Many financial advisors, we don't get paid to promote your values. We don't get paid to study Social Security. We don't get paid to do a lot of these things that most people think we want to do or think we know how to do. Oh, man. But in all reality, folks, you have to protect yourself more than ever. And I say this from a like a discernment, intuition, call it what you want to call it. I believe in the core of me, they will crash the stock market on Trump's watch. They've tried to murder him. They tried to take his resorts away. They tried to lock him up. They've tried everything they could possibly. I mean, you got Cybertrucks blowing up. Who's to say they won't try to blow up Donald Trump before he walks in? I don't know. I don't wish that on anybody, but it's 2025 now. And quite frankly, nothing is out. Nothing is out of the equation, guys. And what I want to say basically is that the NASDAQ is taken off. The NASDAQ has just killed it. And so people, I do want to talk about risk real quick. In order for you to be in a NASDAQ, you would have endured all these downward spirals. Like you would have had to been here, boom, boom. BOK losing 25% in a year, 30%. And then obviously in 23, it did pretty well. And then in 24, we made over 32%. You would have had to buy and hold it. The QQQs, the NASDAQ. Now, for those of you that are 55, 65, yeah, you may want to put half of your money into something growth oriented like this. But for those of you that are 70 or in full blown retirement, or even if you're just 65 years old and you got $1 million to your name, if you put half your money in this, yeah, it would have doubled. It would have close to double. You would have made a ton of money, but you are legit risking your retirement in the next market crash. We've experienced it in 2001. We experienced it in 2008. We experienced it in 2021. We experienced it in COVID. I'm sorry, in COVID, not 2021. And each and every one of those market corrections, interest rates have dropped. Interest rates have dropped. And so when interest rates drop, typically the markets start to go up. But lately it hasn't. Over the past historical five times, actually 13 times, let's go back to 2001. Interest rates were dropped. What happened in 2001? You got it right. In 2008, interest rates dropped. In 2007, interest rates dropped. What happened in 2008? In 2019, the interest rates dropped. And look what happened during COVID. Interest rates dropped last year. Is this going to be the year of a market correction? Well, we still have commercial loan crisis. We still have a commercial loan crisis, real estate crisis that no one's talking about. Real estate in Florida is tanking. People cannot afford to live here in Florida. The retirees are bailing out. They are just going to Midwest. They're going back to where they came from, where they have family, so they can share their expenses. They're going anywhere they can find a reasonable cost of living. There's a bunch of people in Mexico right now, a bunch of patriots that moved over there because they couldn't afford it. And Joe Biden, they want to get away from Joe Biden. Now they're trying to move back to America because Trump is going to get back in. And they don't want to leave Mexico, but they want to be here to support the Trump and America because the cost of living is so expensive no matter where you at. Even if Trump gets in, or when Trump gets in, he's still going to have a lot of work to do to just basically get everything clicking on all cylinders again. The logistics, the Keystone Pipe, the actual taxation reliefs on businesses, the bricks. He's going to murder the bricks. He's going to basically undo everything that Trump had. Everything the stupid face has done, Biden, to try to grow the economy all over again. Can he do it in 4 years? Not to the way that he wants to. It will be a good push. And so we just have to pray. We just have to pray that this time around, Congress is not going to, he's got to fight the rhinos on top of all this. So it is going to be an uphill battle. Just because Trump is in does not mean the stock market is going to be bulletproof, is what I'm getting at. So we have to understand that there are going to be some valleys and some rallies. There's going to be some valleys and some rallies. And we're going to be here to talk about it. But hopefully you are here to do something about it. And if you want to do something about it, give us a call. We want to help you. We want to give you solutions, green money solutions, as a matter of fact. 813-448-3446, or give us a visit at cortezwm.com. You can scan a QR code if you want to get on our calendar. It's really that simple. And let's just have a conversation. If you do, I'll send you a copy of my book, AmericaFirstRetirementPlan.com. And we can just have a conversation about the color of money. How much money do you have in red? How much do you have in yellow? How much do you have in green? Do you even know green existed? Do you even know that your financial advisor has told you, hey, there's a safe place that you can put your money that you can never lose, that is guaranteed by an A-rated carrier that has been around for 100 plus years? It is an insurance-based product. It's out of the CBDC system. It is out of the jurisdiction of the government and pretty much all your creditors and debitors and anyone trying to sue you or come after you. No one can touch it. There are accounts where your money is principally protected and that we can actually get you some great returns. Speaking of returns, imagine something here. You're in the QQQs, you're in the NASDAQ. Imagine getting all of this, all these returns. In 2025, obviously, we've only had 2 days. In 24, NASDAQ yielded 28.64. The year before that was a 43. The year before that was a negative 33. You would have made a zero. You participate in no losses. 21%, a 43, a 35, another 3.88 loss, which is a 0, a 28, a 7. Are you getting these returns, my friend? If you're not getting these returns, then give us a call. We can help you track this with 100% guarantee on your funds, 100% guarantee that the interest that you make is locked in as your new principal. The only downside is you only have access to 10% a year. But if your money is doubling every 4 to 6 years on average, I bet you're going to be okay having access to 10%, knowing that your principal is protected, knowing that your principal is basically out of the jurisdiction of the CBDC system that is already here. Let me mind you, like in 2023, stupid face Biden wrote this into law that the CBDC Fed Now program, it is here to track, trace, and control your assets. This is no joke. This is not a conspiracy theory, guys. This is actually here. And so what you have to understand is that the government will keep on sending money to Israel, to freaking Ukraine, because they have access to your money. And if you don't think they have access to your bank account, they have access to your IRA through taxation. Oh, you've heard of that thing called Social Security, right? Social Security is a welfare program. You don't even know the taxation behind it. This is why they keep on saying, oh, we're not going to have Social Security. It's going to run out by 2030, 33. No, it's not. It's not going to run out by 2033. You know why? Because everybody has their money in IRAs. And what they're simply just going to do is they're going to tax the hell out of your IRAs so they can continue funding Social Security. Did you think about that? What is guaranteed is the taxation on your money. That is guaranteed. The taxes will go up. We are paying for Ukraine. We are paying for the illegals. We are paying for the healthcare. We're paying for the stipend. We're paying for the bodega cards that they get. Dude, they're straight making $5,000-$6,000 a month on a prepaid bodega card. For those of you that don't know what a bodega is a Spanish term for the supermarket or supermercado, whatever you want to call it. Basically a food stamp. And we're paying for that. And the way they can do that is because your IRA is a daggone agreement with the IRS. You signed up to say, you know what? Tax me now or tax me later. When you opened up a 401k or IRA, you literally got yourself in a partnership and said, hey, Mr. Uncle Sam, you can tax me all you want at unknown tax rates 20, 30 years from now. Just give me a tax break, a cookie, water bottle, and a H&R Block cooler for my H&R Block gal. And you can take it off my adjusted gross income for this year. You see, the government's like Satan. He wants to plant a seed to kill, devour, and destroy. The government will allow you to have tax deferral, give you a credit, go to your H&R Block person so they can give you a water bottle and a cooler and a t-shirt. And everybody's like, yay, we saved taxes this year. Great, yay. They're okay giving you that. When you sell your soul to the devil, he will allow you to have treasures and fames and fortunes for a little bit. But we all know how that story ends. We all know it quickly comes to an end. Same thing with Uncle Sam. He will allow you to have these tax breaks. And you'll have that triple compounding effect. You'll have tax deferral on your principal, tax deferral on the interest, tax deferral on the new principal, triple compounding effect. So your $100,000 401k IRA will be $1 million if you keep adding to it. On top of the tax deferral, the IRS would rather have their 40% of $1 million than a 39% of your 100,000. You see how that works? And they will keep on funding these bills during COVID, these bills during the scandemics, these bills during a financial meltdown, the bank bail-ins. They used to be called bank bail-outs, but now they're bank bail-ins. The Dodd-Frank Act in 2010 basically allowed them, inoculated your money and allowed them and commissioned them to really stick your hands in your pocket, in your checking account, bail it in for the better good of the financial institution, so that they will not be a burden on the taxpayers. This is actual law. The bankruptcy laws have changed. So there's so much to navigate here. Don't just take a back seat and say, oh, Trump's in. We're good, baby. No, we're not freaking good. We have a lot of issues. And if you just have your money in the stock market, if you have your money in your 401k, it is a great tax deferral bomb for you. Yes, it will grow because the IRS wants it to grow. And they will keep on pumping the stock market up like crazy so that you can make money, especially in the baby boomers that are now 55, 65. You will make money. And guess what? You're going to lose half of it once you take Social Security at 62 before full retirement age. If you take the money before full retirement age and you make over 25,000, by the way, the money that you pull out of your 401ks, your IRAs, and every taxable qualified account that is written by the government outside of a Roth IRA, don't get me started on the Roth IRA, that counts towards your ordinary income. Why is this all set up like this? It is set up like this because they want to financially inoculate you. They want to track, trace, and control you. And yes, there are ways, there are things that I can do, but you got to give us a call. You got to give us a call. Quit worrying about buying gold and silver. That's like, it's not the dumbest thing to do, but there's so much more than just buying gold and silver and saying, yeah, I'm good. Are you really good? Because the gold and silver is not going to protect you from a crashing dollar. The gold and silver is not going to protect you if there is a financial reset. That's the last thing people are worried about is money on a financial reset. If we have a financial reset, guys, and we are intense, do you think your precious metals is worth anything? What are you going to trade it in for? Bitcoin? What are you going to trade it in for? Like, we're in survival mode. At that point, my plant seeds, my solar panel generator, the food, my ammo will be worth more than the precious metals. And I pray to Almighty Jesus, we never go back in time like that. But honestly, I have a gun safe full of precious metals. If anything does happen, my wife and my kids have been instructed to clear out the gun safe, grab all the precious metals, and that will last us for about a year until I can figure out what I'm going to do for income for my family. Besides heading to the hills. I hope we never have to go that. But that's what precious metals is for me. It is just a emergency bug out bag money situation. If you call our friends at Cornerstone, obviously they'll say something else. But and we love our friends at Cornerstone, and you can give them a call. If you would like some precious metals, then reach out to Cornerstone. And I'm a big fan of precious metals. I like them. They had a great year this year, 30% returns. But we can't expect that. So Cornerstone, 888-747-3309. Again, Cornerstone. If you're going to buy precious metals, reach out to them, 888-747-3309. Let them know that I sent you. They're a faith-based company. They're great at what they do. They will ship that money to you ASAP. With that being said, guys, I want to make sure that you understand we're here for you. If you have a portfolio and you're fearful, you're uncertain, you're doubtful, you don't know how to plan it right, or you're not too sure on, hey, is my portfolio positioned? Is my portfolio positioned for a Trump takeover? Is my portfolio positioned to take advantage of what the things are going to go right on a Trump administration? Well, we want to make sure that you are well positioned for the bull runs. We know the sectors that are going to do well. We know the counts, the green money counts that are going to be amazing. And there's so much stuff that we could tell you. There's so much accounts, mainly 2 or 3 that are really going to take off with Trump's agenda. And I want you to understand that this is an account where your money is guaranteed. You're not going to lose in it. You can only earn annually in this account. And if you just let it sit there and compound, doesn't matter how young you are. Also, we can't write these type of accounts past the age 85, and it is state restricted. So right now we can't do this in New York, and honestly, Alaska, we can do it in Alaska, but Hawaii, I can't deal it with Hawaii just because of the time change. I don't feel like staying up to 3 o'clock in the morning. So it is really rough to talk to somebody in Hawaii. But for the mainland, we're open doors, arms, welcome wide open. We're here to help you outside of New York. But anyways, for those of you that are interested in protecting your money through a Trump administration, and actually growing it, only getting the upsides, and give us a call 813-448-3446. We want to show you some prime examples of what we can do to protect your money. So there's going to be some major things. Oh, real quick, I wanted to share something that I thought was pretty interesting. That so we had the QQQs, as you saw, but check this out. Holy smokes. I was just trading this, actually getting ready to trade it. And I was like, wait a second, I'm not going to mess with this right now. So this is IWM. This is a Russell 2000. And what I wanted to share with you is we're seeing a massive meltdown here, a potential pattern forming. And I'm also looking at a possible death cross here. So for those of you that like leverage ETFs, we can look at TNA. This is 3 times the Russell 2000. And look what this puppy is right here. Woo, January 3rd, I am getting a signal for a death cross, meaning there's so much momentum going down that all these traffic lights, these short-term, mid-term, and long-term, possibly could turn red. And if you look at my oscillator here, it is weakening. Guys, this is huge because if the Russell 2000 starts to go down, it could pull down possibly the NASDAQ, the S&P 500. It could be a ripple effect in consumer confidence. So if you look at, the S&P 500, it tells us a different story. Still, we got a downward spiral here. This is starting to weaken because notice these waves, right? We have typically there's like 5 to 7 waves. So there's one here, one big wave, a second big wave, 24, another wave, a shorter wave, and an even shorter wave. And now we're starting to see a downward spiral. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're at the 6th wave here. Typically at 6 or 7 waves, boom, we'll see a market correction. So we should be expecting a market correction in the S&P 500 and the IWM, the Russell 2000s. And we're just going to keep an eye on it. But for those of you that are just like, hey, Trump's in, we got to invest in the stock market, be extremely careful because that's how you get your butt kicked. And some of you are close to retirement. You can't afford to lose a 20, 30% correction. So give us a call. We want to help you. We have portfolios that make money in the markets. We have accounts that make money outside of the stock markets on our insurance-based platform. We have a different style approach than what you are actually getting typically. With most advisors, they just stick you in mutual funds and they say, oh yeah, this model, the historicals have been great. But we all know that buy and hold doesn't work. Sometimes we don't have time for buy and hold. We want something more tactical. We want something more proven and have a guaranteed on a portion of our funds. Now, if that's you, give us a call, 813-448-3446, or you can simply visit us at cortezwm.com. If you have a question about anything, or if you want me to talk about a certain stock or ETF, email me at info@cortezwm.com. You can see it on the bottom of the screen here, info@cortezwm.com. Do not forget to like and subscribe our Rumble channel. I found out that my username and password was all jacked up, so I haven't posted in a while, but I'm going to start posting. That's my goal this year, is to start posting more lives and more content about my personal life and just how we do things here. But but yeah, with that being said, I wanted to share scripture real quick that I thought was powerful. In addition to the hypocrisy, the second danger, this is Luke, obviously, um, and the second danger of which beware in a day of prosperity and covetousness. I've heard the confession of every conceivable sin among men, one priest said, and except the sin of covetousness. People feel bad about immorality, lying, swearing, but when's the last time they cried over the sin of covetousness? Yet in Romans 7, Paul says covetousness is the very sin that plagued him. What is covetousness? Simply wanting more of that which we already have enough of. And Jesus said it is a sin of which we must be so careful. Luke 12:15, for a man life consists not in abundance of the things which he possesses. Possessions are dangerous because they can possess us. Did you get a new car or did it get you? You used to be free on Saturdays to toss a football around with your kids, but now you have to wax your car, tune it up, keep it running. Small men seek to get, great men seek to be. As we focus on growing your assets, as we focus on protecting your principal, let us not forget the most humblest thing is that we need to be more with our family. The possessions will go away. A lot of people would rather have money in the bank than a relationship with God. They trust their bank more than they trust God. They trust their possessions more than anything. And yes, we find security in having tangible assets. I get it. But the end result is that we need to be a steward, but also have that thin line balance of, hey, my family's more valuable. My salvation, my security in the book of life is more valuable than anything, than any possession. You can't, you never see a U-Haul to a funeral home or behind a hearse. You can't take this stuff with you. So embrace what God has given you, embrace your family, embrace your salvation, embrace what the good Lord has given you, the air in your lungs. Because one day you will not have air in your lungs anymore and you will be judged. We will be judged. And I hope you hear these words, good faith. My good servant. Good work, my good servant, my faithful servant. It is my prayer that you accept Christ into your heart so that you can have your name in the book of life, because then you're winning. You're winning. You have eternal salvation. That is my prayer. That is my aim with all of this. I could care less about the stock market. I could care less about making money. What I truly, truly, truly want to do is not promote hate, but actually bring light into this disgusting world called Wall Street. And all you have to do is, if you're a sinner like me, all you have to do is just ask him in your heart to make changes for you. Let that Holy Spirit manifest his presence right now in your heart so that you can change, so you can have a renewing of the mind, like it says in Romans 12, so that you can be confident, knowing that, hey, if I was to die today, I know where I'm going. And when you have that confidence, your goals become attainable. Your marriage becomes secure. Your health becomes in just solvents. You become radiation to others. You become salt. You become light. And you're able to impact other people. And that's what we're called to do, brothers and sisters, is to be transformative, like just be contagious, because it's not us anymore. It is his spirit that lives in us. And so that is my prayer going to 2025, that you become more impactful by your lifestyle, by accepting God into your heart so that he can do his work It is not going to be perfect. There will be a journey. There will be a walk. There will be trials and tribulations, especially if you utter those words, Jesus, I need you as my savior. I guarantee you will have some problems the next day because you just pissed off Satan. So when I pray every morning, I ask God, what demon can I piss off today? And that's my goal every single day. What demon can I piss off today? We don't need to be living in fear, guys. Just drop it like a sack of potatoes, man. Just drop it. We don't need the fear to control our lives. God has given us a renewing of the mind. He's given us the 2 Timothy 1:7 verse, which is, I have not given you the spirit of fear, but of love, power, and sound mind. How are we having a sound mind going into 2025? So it is my prayer that financially, I pray that you're secured. I pray that you've done everything possible to protect you from this Luciferian stock market. You've done everything possible to get rid of the big banks that are hurting you. You've done everything possible to make the call so that we can help you. Well, with that being said, guys, I'm out of here. Love you all. And give us a call, 813-448-3446. And we are more than happy to help you. And God bless. And we will talk with you soon.